All right, welcome and thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to our local business professional spotlight. Super excited for this one. My name is Nordis Forcade-Martin. I am the founder and CEO of the Forcade Group, a real estate team that besides helping clients navigate the real estate market, enjoys bringing information to the community. During these series, we delve into various relevant topics that are affecting homeowners and business owners and those looking to buy. And we do this with the goal of educating our community by showcasing the professionals who are problem solvers in this arena. We love to bring light to these conversations, so do expect to have some fun. Welcome to our show. And in this episode, we have the pleasure of interviewing Attorney Jessica Portalatin, founder and owner at Portalatin Law Firm. Hi, Jessica. Welcome.
Hi, Nordis. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you for being here. Kick us off with telling us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, that's such a broad question. Well, I am the founder and an owner of Portalatin Law Firm. I'm the principal attorney. I am a business and trademark attorney. But outside of that, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a woman of faith, I'm a daughter, doing all the things.
All the things and doing them excellently.
Oh, thank you.
So we're going to dive right into the topic that you are passionate about, and we have some questions to ask. So tell us, what are 3 contracts every business should have?
Yes, right. So people think of contracts as being this boring thing, but they're just so necessary. And every year, I try to analyze which contracts are the most important for business owners. And what I've seen is that the same top 3 keep coming up on my list, at least through my analysis, right? And I've been doing this for 10 years. So confidentiality / non-solicitation / non-competes. Right. So we form this one big jumbo of a contract. And the idea behind it is, if I have an employee or if I have an independent contractor that's working with me and has access to all my information, they can't use it against me or for their benefit. I can't tell you how many clients of mine come to me and said, oh, my employee stole my client list and started calling them up, and now they're starting their own business. Right. So that's one very big key agreement, especially here in South Florida. The second one is an operating agreement or a shareholders agreement if you have a corporation, right? And the idea is, between owners, what is our dynamic? What does the voting look like? Who's making decisions? How are we making decisions, and what decisions? So are you voting on everything, or do you make decisions on specific topics? These documents tend to be very flexible, and we tend to customize them for our clients, but they're super important because guess what? When you're fighting with your partner, the last thing you want to do is get on the same page. So it's important to have these documents while you're cold-headed and you're thinking reasonably beforehand, because problems will come up in business. It's just the way it is. And then the last one is a buy-sell agreement. A buy-sell agreement is if you have 2 partners and one of them passes away, what do you want to happen? Right? So if my partner is married, do I want to work with his or her spouse when they pass away? Probably not. They probably have not put anything into my business and don't know anything about it. So I want to be able to purchase those shares or that membership interest. But if I don't have the capital or money in my pocket, what do I do? So the buy-sell agreement is an agreement between both partners where, okay, if I die, you buy my shares from my spouse or my heir, and vice versa. And it's funded by life insurance or disability insurance in some cases. So those agreements are super key for any business owners.
Awesome. So it's interesting because the last one you just mentioned, the buy-sell agreement, it's like, let's think about the exit strategy, and it ties so much into one of our specialties in our real estate team, which is probate, and how many people go through these scenarios where they didn't prepare in advance, and then things get a lot more expensive and ugly once they are not here. Their wishes are not known. So having this buy-sell agreement, I think, will answer to that, and it intertwines perfectly with what an estate plan does too.
Yeah.
It's like an exit strategy.
And the operating agreement too. So the operating agreement or the shareholders agreement, a lot of it has buy sell language in it. And we've spoken to some friends of ours that are probate attorneys, and the operating agreements, when you have that in there, you don't have to go into probate, which saves the company and the surviving member or shareholder a bunch of money and a lot of stress. So you're able to keep making decisions even once your partner dies.
Got it. So
Mhm.
preparation, preparation,
Yes,
preparation.
yes, ma'am.
Why is having a trademark for your business so important?
Trademarks. So trademarks are my favorite area of law. They're great. So first, let me kind of go into what a trademark is, because there is some confusion. A trademark is protecting your brand, right? So whether that is the name of your business or the name of your product, maybe it's the logo, like the McDonald's arches, or maybe it's a slogan, like just do it, like Nike, right? So there's different components that you can trademark, right? Register a trademark for and protect. And they all kind of combine and form your brand. So why is it important? Because you want to make sure that you are exclusively able to use that brand, right? You don't want to come up with something creative and then some copycat comes and starts mooching off of your success. So
Right.
with a trademark registration, you're able to protect yourself from people copying you. And maybe they don't copy you exactly, but maybe they create something that's so similar that it confuses people in the market. A trademark registration protects you from that too. So that's one of the main reasons that people seek a trademark registration.
Got it. So what kind of things do I do? Can I do? I'm sorry, with a trademark registration, and what are some things that people? I'm sure there's common myths about what you're able to do, and people don't realize that. So what are some of those myths?
So one of them is kind of like a defensive, and the other one is more of a offensive approach. And I kind of go into both. So the defensive approach, well, you want to make sure that no one else is using your brand after you've registered it. So the trademark registration allows you to stop other people's use if they came after you. Okay. So if I come up with a really creative name, I don't know, I'm just gonna say ABC cookies, and someone comes up and names ABCD cookies the day after I register, I can stop them completely and have them rename. Okay. So that's one thing. That's the defensive approach. Now, the part I like about trademark registration is how I can make more money. And sometimes as business owners, we don't want to dream so big, but the reality is that it's so common to reach and surpass your goals. So one of the ways that trademark registration helps you make more money is it opens the door to licensing and franchising. So let's say you open a restaurant. I guess that's the easiest example. And you're super successful and you're able to make open different locations and multiply. What you want to do is be able to protect the idea and have other people open, and you make a percentage off their sales. That's franchising, right? So you're making money off of other people's work, but it's because they're using your idea. So
Mhm.
that's one way. Licensing is also another way that it works. So if I create a brand, Taco Bell, now you go to the store, you go to Publix, and you'll see that Taco Bell has salsa. Well, guess what? The Taco Bell restaurant is now not in the salsa business. What happened was that there was probably a salsa company out there, and they said, "Hey, Taco Bell, can we use your brand on our salsa?" And they pay Taco Bell a percentage of their sales. So those are
Mhm.
different ways that you can use your brand proactively, your trademark registration, to make you more money without necessarily working more.
That is brilliant. And Jessica, can you name one thing that you cannot really do with a trademark, or something that a trademark doesn't necessarily protect you from?
Okay, that's a great question. So a trademark doesn't protect you from, well, a trademark doesn't give you exclusive use in every market or industry. So if I register ABC cookies, it doesn't protect me for ABC Airlines. Why doesn't it do that?
Mhm.
Because it has to be something that would confuse a consumer. A consumer is not going to think that an airline company and a cookie company have the same owners. All right.
Got it.
That's why there's Dove chocolates and there's Dove soap, and they coexist, and you're not confused. Okay.
Got
Well,
it.
maybe some people, but
Yeah, I actually thought they were the same brand.
for the most part, most people are not confused, right? And so there's Delta Airlines and Delta faucets. So you can coexist. It doesn't mean that you have exclusive name. There are some exceptions. So for example, like famous names, but overall it doesn't protect you in every industry. That you have to select what services and goods you are using your brand for. Another thing is that you can't stop people that were already using the name before you. So let's say I open ABC Cookies, but I never register my brand. Now someone else comes, they get ABC Cookies, they register a trademark. They can't stop me from selling ABC Cookies if I came first. What they can do is stop my growth. So if I was selling only in Miami-Dade, Florida, I cannot now go and expand to Los Angeles. No, they
Mm.
froze me in time, but they can't stop me from operating in my existing territory. So trademarks are great even for those because it stops the growth of everybody else, but you can't stop them completely from operating, which is I think a misconception that most people have.
Can ABC Cookies that just trademarked operate in Miami-Dade and not be in violation of?
No, they cannot.
Okay.
That is my territory.
Ah.
So a good example and a famous example is the Burger King story. So the Burger King franchise that we know today is not the original Burger King. There was a Burger King, and I believe it was in Iowa, and they were the first Burger King. Then someone opened a Burger King in Florida, which became the franchise. They
Mm.
registered a federal trademark, and they froze the original Burger King in time. And so they were not able to operate outside of 20-mile radius. But the Burger King became the famous franchise we know today. And look, so they aren't able to operate in that territory, that limited territory, but they're able to operate everywhere else.
That is so interesting.
Hmm.
That's really cool. And I could tell that it gets you fired up, which is awesome too. That's the beauty too of these spotlights. It's like I love to see how businesses grow so much passion for what they're doing, and that's why you're really good at what you do. So
Okay.
thank you so much for sharing that information and that expertise. We get into, even though this was really fun, I say that next part is the more fun part, but I think it's going to be equally fun.
I'm
The
nervous.
lightning round. What
I'm
we are
nervous.
going to
Okay.
do?
Let's see.
No, don't be. I promise you'll be fine. We get to know you a little bit more on a personal level. So the first question is, what are you most likely to be famous for? To become famous for?
Oh my God. Definitely not singing. Definitely not. Famous for. Oh no. This is a hard one. Uh, Procrastinating? I don't know.
No. You know, I actually have an idea because you're tall,
Uh-huh.
you have the personality, you're beautiful. I would say you could become famous for being a model.
I could be a what?
Model. You can be a model. I'm gonna put it out there.
Oh,
Model.
Norris, I love you.
No procrastinator. No, you be famous for that.
Okay, I'll allow it. Thank
Who
you.
inspires you to be better?
Mm, my husband. He pushes me a
Aww.
lot. Yeah.
We'll make sure he gets this recording.
Maybe it'll get me a good Valentine's Day gift.
Right in time. What is one of your favorite smells?
One of my favorite smells. Um, the smell of men's cologne. It's just there's even
Amazing.
candles of it and air fresheners, and it's amazing.
I love it too. I sometimes wear my husband's cologne because I love that.
Really? I love
Yeah.
it. I love the smell.
And then lastly, what is the best piece of advice you've ever received?
The best piece of advice I've ever received. It takes the same amount of energy to dream small than to dream big. So dream big.
Ooh, I love it.
Yes. It
And I
was
love how you interjected that message in when you were describing what a trademark can do in terms of making people money. Because
mhm.
I think people just go more into the I'm protecting my brand and I don't want anybody else to get it. They don't really think about the growth piece, and I think that that's a
Yeah.
huge message. The fact that it's an important message. Grow, think big.
And I think it's important to remember that even these big companies that we see today, like Chick-fil-A, they started out small. They were small at one point. And so you can be that next Chick-fil-A. And I think it's important to remember that they're human. The humans created that just like you are creating your business. So
Yeah, yeah. And in restaurants, right? Like everyone thinks, well, there are so many, yet there are so many chains, big chains, successful chains that didn't get fall into that mindset and they grew.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And there's trademarks for everything. I say restaurants because it's kind of an easy, you see it every day, but even clothing lines, right? Ralph Lauren, that it's a huge trademark, and everyone started somewhere and no one
Yeah,
blew up overnight. So I think it's important for us as business owners to remember that we can be that next person to never, and just prepare for that as well.
absolutely. Thank you so much, Jessica. Where can our viewers find you?
Well, we are online. You can find us on our website, contractlawmiami.com. And we are on Instagram as well, Portalatin Law Firm, and Facebook. So you can find us pretty much everywhere. We also have a YouTube channel where we update and send videos that are helpful to business owners. We are constantly updating new information. So come follow us.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jessica. Appreciated having you, sharing your time, and I look forward to seeing you here again soon.
Thank you, Nordis. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.